What was it like up there?
Dancing Brenda Bufalino solo in front of her and many other people.
No pressure.
It was, honestly, it's thrilling and also terrifying, and it's really inspiring to be in a space where you're after it, where you're trying to hold on to her composition and her essence, and trying to wield your own energy in the right way to be able to achieve what she's been doing, spent her whole life doing. So it's insane. It's crazy what we're doing here.
I saw there was a moment where you were like, oh, I screwed it up, and meanwhile the rest of us are going, that's amazing. So what's it like for you to be performing? I mean, and you're a big deal. I mean, I don't want to embarrass you, but in front of somebody who is so important to you.
I've done much worse in front of Brenda. So, but in learning this, it's incredibly humbling. This is her material, and it's also, she's been discussing this with us. Her palette, she spent decades building this. She was just talking to us about really searching for 4 years to find the palette, language, tonality, musicality, melody that she then moved into creating her solo work. So we're learning her solos here. And seeking after a single solo is one thing, but to fully understand it means you're diving into her palette, which is so refined. And we're after it kind of at a novice level, even though some of us have been dancing for over 40 and some of us over 50 and some of us 60 years. We're still after something. She's 88 and is kicking our butts, and it's amazing.
It's amazing. You know, for people who aren't familiar with this world, I mean, Cole Porter wrote great tunes. Years after he's gone, you sit down, you put the music up, you play it. How is dance different, and why is it necessary for her to actually show you what's going on?
Yeah, without it being demonstrated with integrity and care, without literally feeling the vibration, especially in the floor, the way Brenda uses her weight, the way she approaches the floor. Sure, you could look at a video and try to understand that. You could read maybe steps or music or vocabulary on a piece of paper. You will never understand the essence of something unless you are in person. I mean, this tap dance is this form that is passed from human to human. And being able to share space with her and to understand those nuances, the way hesitation and anticipation, as she would tell us, the way she chooses to phrase, the way she'll execute a darker tone with a part of her shoe or with her body weight. There's nothing like experiencing it side by side.
So she's kind of passing the baton to the next generations?
Yes, yeah. We have folks representing every decade of professional tap dancers. Last week, Terry Brock was here. She's in her 70s. Josh Hilberman is representing the 6th floor. Derek Grant's representing the 5th floor. Claudia and I are on the 4th floor.
The 4th floor meaning in your 40s?
Uh-huh, yeah, I stole that from Rockefeller.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and we have a handful of folks on the 3rd floor. Sterling, are you 20 or 30 something? That's right, Sterling's pushing into the 3rd floor, but we've got Brenda's own granddaughter in her 20s, and then also Dylan Such just barely screeching into being 20 years old. So like, it's unbelievable. Like, it's crazy.
So this whole residency program, right? I mean, the truth is videos don't exist for a lot of these solos, right? And that's why this is needed. I mean, is this one of the last opportunities to actually capture at least what she can teach?
I think what I'll say to answer that is that she has created so much work. She has an entire body of work on the American Tap Dance Orchestra that is composed for groups. It's a group composition. These are her solos that she's passing on. We wouldn't dare to take one of her solos and perform that without not only her permission, but really without her thoughtful passing, teaching, guiding, helping us understand the essence of these things and the composition. Yes, and so we are learning her solos as she would perform them, and then she asks us not to serve her, but to serve the work. So she's been saying this, that her mentor, Honey Coles, who had a huge influence on my mentor, so did Brenda herself, my mentor, Gene Medler, he told her, we must create work so that this art form doesn't die. And we must pass down our work so that the art form doesn't die. So that we're part of a small group of people that is holding on to her work is an incredible honor.
I'm trying to get a sense of the importance of these 2 weeks, right? If these 2 weeks got rained out, okay, and you never could do them, what would be lost?
A legacy. I mean, Brenda's work is the oldest living compositional legacy in our form right now. And a chapter of our legacy would just be completely lost. And that it is being captured and also being held at the library is unbelievable. Like, so that it will be accessible to future generations is incredible.
What has already been lost?
Oh, that's devastating. A lot. I mean, this is the story of a lot of, I think a lot of art forms in America, a lot of Black forms in America, a lot is lost. Names are lost, innovators are lost. I think respect for the form has been lost and misunderstood. Yeah, we could go into an abyss with that one, but much has been lost.
Specifically, tap, I'm told, really had its birth here in the United States. Is that true?
Yeah, tap dance is American.
And that makes it different than other forms of dance, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think some folks think of it as like an original form from like, in terms of dance created by like forced migrated and immigrated cultures, like this is the American dance form. And also it's the early musical form that helped inform early American music, which is jazz and blues. So the percussive ideas in tap dance are older than that music. And percussive structures of tap dance are older than the percussive structures of popular music in America. Like this is, I think, one of the most forgotten parts of our history, that tap dance is the bedrock of music in America.
What does the average person, I'm going to include myself when it comes to dance, not understand about tap, about what you do?
I think part of it is that tap dance is music. I think folks don't think of that first. Some folks don't. And I think you can tell by the way Brenda was coaching us through these sessions and guiding us, she's asking for us, of us for meticulous tonality and approach and phrasing. So, this is it's the same way a music teacher would ask someone to perform a piece of music. But then we have the added bonus of creating that music with our body and our weight. And so, I think the complexity of the form is something that people don't quite understand. It's unbelievably complex. It's so sophisticated. And then also it's so visceral and so joyful. So it has every edge. I think it's the best kept secret in the world. I think if more people tap danced, a lot of people would be happier.
It was exciting to see the two of you on stage together and her giving you specific advice. What was it like to be receiving it?
I cherish all of her advice, and I'm also often embarrassed because she's telling me for the second or third time. And she is patient enough to remind me. She has been telling me this since the first time I came up I went upstate to study with her leading into this process. And she's reminding me to use my energy thoughtfully. And I will use my energy to an extreme. And that she is reminding me that in my own dancing and my own composing, not just in service of this Mingus solo that is an epic thing, and if it was the only thing I ever did as a tap dancer, it would be an epic gift and I would be fulfilled. And she's still asking me what I am learning from learning this solo from her, I need to be applying to myself and my own path, and that's unreal. So when she gives you that guidance, of course it's about the work specifically, but it goes so much deeper. It's human advice. It's artistic advice and it's human advice. And it's unbelievable.
There may be a different lesson for somebody sitting in the audience, which is that Brenda Bufalino is teaching something to Michelle Dorrance, and Michelle Dorrance isn't quite getting it right. So, okay, well then people can make mistakes. And there's like that whole, I hear you're a Virgo?
Yeah.
And she's a Virgo?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Virgo?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's like, let's get this right.
Yeah, let's get this right.
But there's a nice lesson in seeing you, and you're so accomplished, saying, okay, well, maybe not everybody can get it perfect.
Oh, no, I mess up all the time. I mean, making disastrous mistakes through this process is also why it's fulfilling. And there's no color if everything's perfect. There's no texture. And I think this is another thing that's so important that we're doing here. Not a lot of folks have composed so much solo work. We often improvise our solos because tap dance is an improvisational form. So this is so unique that Brenda has this kind of a body of solo work that is composed is what's unique. So often when you're doing your own solo, let's say you set some ideas, if you make a mistake, you just improvise out of it. And so it's not gonna really look like a mistake, but that we're after something so specific, of course we're gonna mess up. And also, you know, my mentor always said to us, Gene Medler, have a beginner's mind. If we stop learning, we're dead. And Brenda has said throughout this entire process how much she loves to learn. And you can tell that by the way she's passing these things on. It's almost as if she's still learning from her work.
Is tap dancing good for your health?
Yes.
How so?
Look at Brenda. I think it says it all. I mean, she's formidable as a human and an artist, and she is an artist in so many directions. She's a giant in our field, and then she's also a potter and an author and a poet and a gardener and a grandmother and a vocalist, and she plays the concertina and she writes music. What doesn't she do?
What she really wants to do is direct.
We're here for that.
And here we are.
All day.
And she's directing.
Yeah, she's a composer. She's so many things. Like that she is a giant as a tap dance performer is one thing, as a choreographer is another thing, as a composer. But she is just really the epitome of an artist to me.
What does dance do for you in terms of your health? I mean,
honestly, I think everyone says it keeps you young, and I really do believe that. And I think it also just asks for so much of the visceral part of your physical body, but also of your brain at the same time. And you don't have to be in your brain for it to serve your brain.
now,
We're
what do you mean
doing,
by that?
I mean, this is like maybe kind of boring, but like.
It's not boring to me,
Well,
believe me.
well, I'll just
I've
say
been
this.
trying to figure this out for years. Things like muscle memory.
Yeah.
You're like, what is that?
But also patterned things where in tap dance we're doing like things that are going back and forth between our feet constantly,
Right.
which means you're going back and forth between the hemispheres in your brain constantly.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of tap dancers remember stories from 60 years ago, 80 years ago.
And by stories, you mean dance.
Yeah, stories in the dance and stories of the dance and their history. And back when I was on tour with Cab Calloway, or, you know, when Honey Coles and I were here and on this gig, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I mean, I think one of the reasons our stories are preserved by our elders is this is good for your brain. It's not just good for your body. Of course, it's good for your soul. So.
There's an expression, what's good for your heart is good for your head. And I wonder if what's good for your feet is good for your head, what's good for your head is good for your feet and the rest of your body.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, seeing you up there, I mean, as a physician, I'm thinking, what? You know, like how, I mean, it's hard for me to, let's see, rub my, tap my head and rub my belly, right? But you're doing all of these things at once with your feet and your head and your body and your posture and your arms. And then there are moments when you just seem to have wild abandon.
Yeah.
Tell me about those.
And I think this is another thing Brenda's passing to us this week. Like the way we use our upper body should serve the way we're waiting for the next phrase. The way we use our upper body and our weight should serve what we want to sound like in the floor. So the dance, everything we're doing that may seem coordinated in this sophisticated way, of course it is, but it also is in service of the same thing. There is nothing that is happening in any of these dances that is counterintuitive to the movement itself or to the music itself. Does that make sense? Whereas there are other art forms where something is played. I mean, I use ballet as an example because there is a coordination that it doesn't always involve a service of a specific idea. And so we're serving this thing physically at all times. Yeah, that's really exciting to me.
Were you born a dancer?
I think I was a better musician as a young person than a dancer.
Well, was that
I
the
liked
segue
music.
to dancing?
Yes, I memorized music, and I certainly like to move. My mom was a professional ballet dancer, but I knew as a very young person that I had like flat feet. My father's legs, not flexible, but I'm always on the music, my mom would tell me. And I was very lucky to have a really special mentor that sought after the real carriers of the art form. And so at a very young age, I was exposed to, I'll never forget, when he came back from studying with Brenda and with Honey Coles in Colorado, he came back, I was 9 years old, and he said, Michelle, we're changing everything. And he completely changed the way he approached teaching and what he taught us.
This is your teacher?
My teacher,
Who is
Gene
that?
Medler. Gene Medler.
Gene Medler.
Yeah.
And he meddled in your life in a very, very positive way.
I'm so lucky to have had him as my mentor.
The last question is there anything I didn't ask you that you think is important for people to know about this residency, this project?
I may be speaking out of turn, but I don't believe there's ever been anything like this. And Janae Kutcher, who's been hosting us and been, a huge engine behind this thing happening here with Brenda, she said, I am here to serve the holes in our collection, and this is a hole. And that what we're doing is in service of Brenda's legacy as a part of the art form of tap dance is really special.